Hey, now that we have learned about the Routh-Hurwitz Criterion in the last two lessons, today we're going to learn about how we can use the criterion to design a stable system. And then, finally, show how we can save ourselves a lot of tedious work with the Routh Array with 3 simple commands in Scilab. This lesson is based on the written lesson that Kushal wrote, and as always, I highly recommend checking out the written lesson on CircuitBread.com. But let's hop right into it by designing a stable system. If we have an open loop transfer function of k over s times s plus 7 times s plus 11, and k is positive, we can find its characteristic equation of s cubed plus 18s squared plus 77s plus k. We will now quickly put together the Routh array using the k as a variable. For the system to be stable, the elements of the first column of the Routh array must be positive. Now, to keep each row the same sign, positive in this case, we need k to be greater than 0, but also need to keep that third row down positive. So we need 1386 minus k over 18 to be greater than 0. So k needs to be less than 1386. Thus, k has to be between 0 and 1386, not inclusive. Find a value of k within that range that is reasonable and has the performance you want, and you're golden. And that's basically it, which is pretty nice. But now let's learn how to do these things using Scilab, which will make life even easier. As always, this is basically applicable to MATLAB as well, but Scilab is free, which makes it great for these examples. Let's use a much larger characteristic equation than we have thus far, and I'm not even going to read it out loud because it's just too long. So let's open up Scilab. We're in our main view, and we have the command window here, which for our purposes today is basically all we need. There are only 3 steps, so let's start with the first one, which is just to define our variable s as a polynomial variable. Now that we have our polynomial variable, we can create our characteristic equation, p, which I'm just going to copy and paste in here because I'm 100% confident I'll mistype it while you're watching. Finally, our third and final step is to compute the Routh's table using Routh_t of p. And voila! Our output is a table exactly like we would have calculated out by hand, but at least 20 times faster and less likely to have mistakes. Now, we look over this and we see that there's a sign change between the second and third row, and then again between the third row and fourth. So this system is unstable, and there are 2 poles in the right half of the S-plane. That was incredibly easy, but now you know how to do it manually or using Scilab, and you can intelligently interpret the results. So I think we've been very successful with these last few lessons. This was a short one, but that's all we have for this lesson. Today, we learned how the RH criterion can be applied during the design of control systems. And finally, we use Scilab to compute the Routh array of an unwieldy characteristic equation. Now, the Routh-Hurwitz criterion gives a good understanding of the stability of the system, but it doesn't tell us the exact location of the poles, which can be helpful. So, in our next lesson, we'll start learning about the root locus plot, which gives us a good visual representation of the system stability. As for this one, if you found it useful or interesting, please give it a like, subscribe to the CircuitBread channel, and we will catch you in the next one. Take care. Hey, I hope this tutorial was helpful. Did you need to take a break? Besides all of the tutorials, tools, and other purely educational stuff, CircuitBread.com offers several distractions like games, random history bites, posters that we think are cool, and some hopefully funny videos. Go check them out and let us know what you think.